Hello and welcome to today's edition of the Streets Parliamentarians. This is a show that lets all opinionated Nigerians to make their voices heard. And today we have an interesting package for you. Only recently, the National Assembly, particularly the Senate, has asked for the 2014 National Conference report to be brought before it for consideration and possible implementation. Now, will this document solve the problems of Nigeria? This is the question in the minds of many Nigerians. Let's know what Nigerians are thinking about this. Let's hear what they have to say. All right, sir, do you see the National Conference report really solving the problem of Nigeria if implemented?
Even in advanced democracies, there's no free country, there's no country that has no problems. But the National Conference to a certain level will address some major issues in the country. Because the major problem we have is a concentration of power at the center. If the powers are devolved among the the federating states, the structure, it will lessen this.
Some part of the country feel they are being marginalized. Some other person feels somehow. And those issues were discussed very well during the confab. So we just have to, there's no pretense. Let us face it, the reality, if Nigeria must remain together. So I think for me, even though I have variance with the Senate, I think they are actually taking the right step. And I think it will help us all together.
Before that conference, they've had several other conferences. And there's been the recurrent decimal, the need for us to come together and talk. I think one of the problems we're having in this country is the will to implement certain things that have been talked about. And I think it's the right time. When the idea for something comes, nothing stops it. I think it's the right time for us to begin to talk a new path in Nigeria. That is implementing what we've already decided on. Like, I've just realized, if I heard political platform this morning, and I found out that the youth are beginning to sing a different song from what the elders have been saying. And that's true, because one man came before and said the whole world was flat, until somebody else came and said it was spherical. And we all said, yeah, it's true. Unity in diversity means, looking at the different things that make us one. But if, from the youth angle, if you look at unity in diversity, you could also look at it from another perspective, the perspective that why not concentrate on the things that make us distinct, that puts us together. I think that's why this conference is very, very important, that they look into some of the things, because I'm glad it was the first time we had more youth representation. And after that, you begin to hear more and more youths coming in and making people to understand our mind. Mind you, the mind of the youth is different from the mind of the others. That's why we have the computer now, because there was nothing like that before.
Yeah, of course, it will solve the problem of Nigeria. If federal government approve it, the thing will create more job opportunity for the youth.
The National Conference, that is 2014, is one of the things that can solve the problem of agitation in Nigeria presently. And the earlier we go back to that confab report, the earlier the better. Because if you see what is going on now in the country, you see that there's agitation mostly in all the regions in Nigeria. And in the 2014 confab, there are a lot of things that the elite and people concerned that they have rubbed minds together, and they've reached a consensus to bring a solution to the problems of Nigeria. And if that 2014 confab report can be implemented, the problem of Nigeria, this agitation, resource control, and every other thing will be solved. This Biafra agitation, Northeast, maybe Boko Haram or this thing and that, and maybe Southwest and Middle Belt. And once we can go back to that 2014 report, I believe most of the problems of Nigeria will be solved. And again, this issue of regional government is part of the 2014 National Conference report, and that was the point of the Southwest, and the other region buy into it. Without that regional government, Nigeria will continue to witness agitation upon agitation. Today it will be Biafra, tomorrow it will be Middle Belt, and so. So we should go back to that 2014 National Conference and let us be sincere with ourselves, because we have many we have many reports, and this report has not been implemented. So we are pleading with the federal government that should go back to that 2014 National Conference for the solution of our problem in Nigeria.